My name is Ruth Eleanor Bennett, 74 years old, living in the same two-story farmhouse on County Road 12 in rural Jasper County, Indiana, that my late husband Earl and I bought in 1971 with his first big paycheck from the John Deere plant in Lafayette and my savings from sewing alterations at the local dry cleaners. The house had history. Wide front porch with a swing Earl built from scrap lumber, a backyard big enough for a vegetable garden, and a clothesline that still creaked when the wind blew. A basement workshop where Earl restored old tractors, and I kept my sewing machine, and a living room filled with the things we collected over 52 years of marriage. Antique coin collection. Earl started as a boy. A set of sterling silver flatware we bought piece by piece at auctions, vintage baseball cards from his childhood, and a mahogany hope chest filled with linens and keepsakes for our grandchildren. Earl passed 3 years ago from complications after a fall on the ice. Hip fracture, pneumonia, gone in 6 weeks. He left me the house free and clear. His pension, modest but steady, Social Security, and the one thing we both clung to as security, a $180,000 savings account we built slowly for emergencies, medical bills, or whatever the grandkids need someday. Our only child, Brandon Lee Bennett, now 45, divorced twice, father to 3 teenagers he saw sporadically, moved back in after Earl's funeral. "Just till I get back on my feet, Mom," he said, flashing the same boyish smile that used to melt my heart. I didn't charge rent. I cooked his favorites: fried chicken on Sundays, meatloaf on Tuesdays, apple pie from the old family recipe. I even slipped him cash for job interviews when his gigs dried up. Then came my hip surgery in early spring 2025, replacement after a fall in the garden. The doctor said 6 weeks recovery, physical therapy, help around the house. Brandon stepped up immediately. "I'll be your caregiver, Mom. Full-time. No need for strangers." He quit his part-time delivery job, moved into the downstairs guest room, and took over. I was grateful. He drove me to therapy, cooked, badly, helped with baths. I signed a simple caregiver agreement. Nothing formal, just a handwritten note he suggested, for insurance. I gave him access to my debit card, for groceries and meds. The first month was okay. He shopped, cleaned, sort of, kept me company. Then the slips started. Groceries came with receipts missing. Forgot to keep them. Meds were late. Pharmacy was out. The bank app pinged. Unusual activity. $1,200 at a casino in Gary. $800 at a sports bar. $3,500 on a used pickup truck title transfer. $2,000 cash withdrawals labeled household expenses. I confronted him one evening in the kitchen, still using the walker, hip aching. "Brandon, what's this? Casino? Truck?" He laughed. Easy, dismissive. "Mom, relax. I needed the truck for errands. The casino was just one night. Stress relief. I won a little back. You're fine. Pension covers everything." "The account was for emergencies," I said. "For me. For the grandkids." He rolled his eyes. "Grandkids don't need it. They've got loans. And you're taken care of. I'm here 24/7. That's worth something." I stared. "You're taking my money." He leaned in, smile gone. "I'm your caregiver. I deserve compensation. You think strangers would do this for free? I'm saving you thousands." I felt the ice grow inside me. Not rage yet, but clarity. He hadn't moved in to help. He'd moved in to harvest. That night I didn't sleep. I lay in the dark bedroom, same bed Earl and I shared for 48 years, and thought about the things in the house. The coin collection in the basement safe. Earl's pride started when he was 10, worth $18,000 to $22,000. The sterling flatware in the dining room cabinet, Gorham pattern, full service, $9,500. Vintage baseball cards in acid-free sleeves, collection from the 1950s, $12,000. My mother's pearl necklace and sapphire brooch, $7,800 total. And the mahogany hope chest filled with linens and keepsakes I'd saved for the grandkids. Brandon had always eyed them. "Those coins are worth a fortune, Mom. Mine someday, right?" He'd laugh, but his eyes were serious. The cold clarity hit me. Not anger yet, but resolve. He hadn't just taken money. He'd taken Earl's last gift, my security, my future. By morning, I'd decided. No police yet. Elder financial abuse charges could take years, and he'd twist it. No begging. I'd reclaim what was mine, starting with the things he'd always assumed were his. I waited until he left for errands. I knew where he went now, casino or bar. I called an old friend, Victor Lang, antique dealer in Lafayette, who'd bought from us before. "Victor," I whispered into the landline. Burn a phone later. "I need help. Discreet. House call?" He listened. "Ruth, you okay?" "No, but I will be. Can you come tomorrow?" He was there by noon. Gray suit, briefcase, kind eyes. Brandon was out. I let Victor in. We sat in the dining room. I showed him the sterling flatware. Full service, monogrammed, pristine. "Beautiful," he said. "Gorham Chantilly, $9,500 retail. Cash offer, $7,800 today." Next, the coin collection from the basement safe. Indian head pennies, buffalo nickels, Morgan dollars. Strong set, $18,000 to $20,000. Cash, $16,200. Then the baseball cards, 1952 tops, mantle rookie, graded, full sets. Excellent condition, $11,800. Total offer, $35,800 cash. I took it. He counted the bills on the kitchen table. Crisp hundreds. I signed receipts. He loaded carefully. Coins in padded cases, cards in sleeves. As he left, "Ruth, this feels heavy. If you need a lawyer, I know one. Elder abuse specialist." I smiled thinly. I'm starting to know them too. Alone, I deposited $33,000 in a new account. Online only. My name only. No joint access. The rest stayed for immediate needs. That evening, Brandon came home, smelling faintly of beer. "Mom, what's for dinner?" I was on the porch, tea in hand, watching the sunset over the cornfields. "Whatever you make," I said calmly. "I'm not cooking tonight." He laughed. "Okay, lazy bones. I'll order pizza." I didn't reply. The ice inside me turned to steel. The morning after Victor left with the sterling flatware, coin collection, and baseball cards, the house felt different. Not emptier in a sad way. Lighter. The dining room cabinet shelves stood bare where the Gorham silver once gleamed, their monogrammed handles gone. The basement safe, now just a metal box with the door ajar, was silent. No more clink of coins when I walked by. The living room display case where the baseball cards had been arranged in neat rows was now just glass and dust. I stood in the basement doorway for a long minute, coffee mug in hand. Strong, black, the way Earl always made it, letting the silence settle. No ticking clock to remind me of time stolen, no coins to count for the grandkids. The spaces were mine to fill, or leave empty. I drove to the bank first thing. Same branch in Rensselaer, where Earl and I opened our first joint account in 1972. The teller, a middle-aged woman named Linda, who remembered Earl from the plant, helped me open the new savings account. Separate from the joint one? she asked gently. Yes, I said, just mine. No joint access. Ever. She set it up. Online only. 2-factor authentication. High-yield interest. I deposited $33,000 cash from Victor's payment. The remaining $2,800 stayed in my purse for immediate use. No more caregiver access. No more trusting blindly. Back home, I sat at the kitchen table, same table where Brandon used to eat cereal as a boy, where Earl carved the Thanksgiving turkey, and opened my laptop, searched antique jewelry appraisers, Lafayette, Indiana. Found a specialist, Margaret Duval, retired from the Tippecanoe County Historical Society, now private appraisals. Her website was simple. Photos of estate pieces, testimonials from families. I emailed her photos of the remaining jewelry. My mother's pearl necklace. Graduated natural luster, $3,100 appraised online. The sapphire brooch Earl gave me for our 30th anniversary, $4,800. A vintage diamond tennis bracelet I'd worn only to church, and Earl's gold wedding band. Sentimental, but gold value, $800. She replied within the hour. These are lovely. I'd like to see them in person. House call tomorrow. She arrived at 11 a.m. Silver hair in a neat chignon, tweed jacket, loop around her neck, white gloves. We sat in the living room over coffee. The good mugs, the last ones left. She examined each piece carefully, turning, weighing, checking hallmarks. The pearl necklace is exceptional. Natural, graduated, excellent luster. $3,100 retail. Sapphire brooch, Art Deco, good clarity, $4,800. Bracelet. Excellent stones, $2,900. Wedding band, 14-karat gold, $800. Total cash offer, $11,600 today. I nodded slowly. $11,600. Another chunk of the $180,000 Brandon had been siphoning, returned in metal and stone. I accepted. She counted the cash, crisp bills in stacks. I signed receipts. She packed the pieces in padded cases like they were fragile hearts, as she left. Mrs. Bennett, this feels heavy. If you need a lawyer, I know one. Elder abuse specialist. I smiled thinly. I'm starting to know them too. Alone again, I didn't mourn the empty jewelry box. I went shopping. Real shopping. The market in Lafayette. Fresh Indiana pork chops, thick-cut bacon from a local farm, aged cheddar, heirloom tomatoes bursting with summer juice, fresh basil still damp from rinsing, a crusty sourdough boule, a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa, something Earl and I used to look at in catalogs but never bought. Peaches. Imported sweet. Dark chocolate truffles dusted with cocoa. Checkout total, $158.32. A year ago, I would have put half back. Today, I swiped the new debit card without hesitation. Home, I unpacked slowly. The fridge light glowed. Empty shelves filled with color and life. Pork chops on the bottom shelf. Berries in glass bowls, cheese in the crisper. I stood back and looked. My fridge had never looked like this, not even at Christmas. That evening I cooked, pan-seared pork chops with apple cider glaze, roasted potatoes, green beans with bacon. Warm bread dipped in butter. I set the table properly, cloth napkin folded neatly, wine glass polished, candle flickering. Ate slowly on the porch, the swing creaking softly, fireflies blinking in the yard. Every bite was deliberate, luxurious, mine. Halfway through the meal, my phone buzzed. Brandon. Text. Mom, need $500 for truck repair. You're covered, right? I'm your caregiver, LOL. Thanks. I stared at the screen, then typed, No. Sent. He replied immediately. What? Come on, Mom. It's for errands. You need me mobile. I didn't answer. He called an hour later, voice casual at first. Mom? Hey, how's the hip? I'm out running errands. Need that $500 for the shop. You good? I took a slow sip of Cabernet. I'm fine, and no. Pause. No? Mom, I'm doing everything here. Cooking, cleaning, meds. That's worth something. You're doing what you promised, I said calmly. And taking more than promised. His tone shifted, irritated. What's that supposed to mean? The bank alerts? I told you, stress relief. One night. I want a little back. You lost more, I said. And the truck? The cash withdrawals? Silence, then. You're checking my spending. That's not fair. I'm your son, your caregiver. You're my son, I agreed. But you're not my bank. He laughed, forced. Okay, dramatic. I'll pay it back. When my next job pays. Just spot me this once. No. He exhaled hard. You're being selfish. After everything I've done. You've done nothing but take. I interrupted. I'm done paying for it. He hung up, angry. I finished dinner in peace. The pork chops were tender, the wine warm, the fireflies danced. The next week brought more. Margaret sold the last small items. A vintage sewing machine collection, $2,900. Earl's old pocket watch, $1,800. Account hit $58,000. I called Ellen Whitaker, elder law attorney in Lafayette. She took my call immediately. Mrs. Bennett, tell me everything. I did. The caregiver agreement, debit access, casino charges, truck purchase, missing receipts. She listened without interruption. This is elder financial abuse, she said. Unauthorized use, self-dealing, breach of fiduciary duty. We can file for accounting, revocation of any informal authority, restitution, possible criminal charges. You have proof? Bank statements, his texts, photos of the truck title. Good. I'll file today. You'll need to come in for signatures. And Ruth, you're strong. Most don't fight back. I'm tired of not fighting. We set an appointment. I drove to Lafayette the next day. First time alone in months. Ellen's office was small, warm. Photos of her grandkids on the desk. She reviewed everything, drafted the petition, demand accounting of funds, revoke caregiver authority, seek restitution plus damages. You'll win, she said. The evidence is clear. He'll have to repay, likely with interest and fees. I signed, felt the weight shift, not gone, but lighter. Brandon texted that night, long message. Mom, lawyer called. This is insane. You're suing me, your own son, over money? I've been here 24/7. I deserve something. Drop it. Let's talk. I replied once, the courts will talk. Talk to my lawyer. Blocked his number for the night. The sales continued. Victor sold the last small items, a vintage camera collection Earl loved, $2,900. My mother's antique sewing box, $1,800. Account hit $62,000. I treated myself to a spa day, first ever. Massage, facial, manicure. Sat in a quiet room with cucumber water, soft music. Felt my shoulders drop. Back home, I cooked again. Steak with garlic butter, roasted vegetables, fresh bread. Ate on the porch. Watched the sunset paint the sky orange over the fields. Brandon unblocked, called from a new number. I answered. Mom, please, I'm sorry. I was stressed. The gambling, the truck. I thought I could win it back. I didn't think about you, about Dad's promise. I listened. I'll pay back, he continued. Promise, just drop the suit. No. He cried. Real sobs. You're destroying our family. You did that, I said softly. When you took without asking. When you spent my security on your habits. Silence. Then, I hate this. I know, I said, but I'm done paying for your mistakes. I hung up. The house was quiet. No silver. No coins. No cards. But it was mine. And I was awake. The weeks after selling the jewelry, coins, and baseball cards passed in a rhythm I hadn't known in decades. My rhythm. Morning started slow. Coffee on the porch swing, watching the sun rise over the cornfields across County Road 12. The distant hum of a tractor starting its day. No alarm clock. No rush to make breakfast for Brandon when he was helping. Just me. The creak of the swing chains Earl oiled every spring, and the soft call of morning doves in the garden. The house continued to lighten. Victor came twice more. First for the vintage camera collection Earl loved, $2,900 cash. Then for my mother's antique sewing box and a set of old quilts, $3,700. Each visit felt like shedding weight. The basement safe was empty. No more clink of coins when I walked by. The living room display case was just glass and dust. The upstairs sewing room, where I used to mend clothes for the grandkids, was quieter. No more boxes of fabric waiting for Brandon's next project. My new account balance climbed to $68,000. Interest ticking up daily, plus the small withdrawals for groceries and comforts I'd denied myself for years. I started small luxuries that felt like rebellion. A new recliner for the living room, soft leather, electric lift, for when my hip ached. Delivered and set up by two young men who called me ma'am and thanked me for the tip. A weekly manicure at the little salon in Rensselaer, soft peach polish, no more chipped nails from scrubbing pots, fresh flowers from the market every Saturday, sunflowers when in season, lilies otherwise, always on the kitchen table where they caught the light through the bay window. And the food. God, the food became my daily ritual. No more boiling ramen or stretching ground beef. I shopped at the upscale market in Lafayette twice a week, reusable bags in hand, no coupons. Fresh Indiana pork chops, thick-cut bacon from a local farm, aged cheddar, heirloom tomatoes bursting with summer juice, fresh basil still damp from rinsing, a crusty sourdough boule, a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa, something Earl and I used to look at in catalogs but never bought. Peaches, imported sweet, dark chocolate truffles dusted with cocoa. One Thursday night I cooked a feast for one. Grilled pork chops with apple cider glaze, roasted potatoes, green beans with bacon, warm bread dipped in butter. I set the table properly, cloth napkin folded neatly, wine glass polished, candle flickering. Ate slowly on the porch, the swing creaking softly, fireflies blinking in the yard. Every bite was deliberate, luxurious, mine. Halfway through the meal my phone buzzed. Brandon, video call. I almost didn't answer, but I did. His face filled the screen, red-eyed background of a dimly lit bar, slot machines chiming behind him. Mom, hey, I'm out with friends. Hip okay? Need anything? I took a slow bite of pork chop, chewed deliberately. I'm fine. Where are you? He laughed, forced. Just a quick drink. Stress relief. You're good with the card, right? I'll pay back. I sipped Cabernet. No more card. I canceled it. His smile dropped. What? Mom, I need it for groceries, meds. You're covered, right? I'm your caregiver. You're not, I said calmly. You're my son, and you're taking. His tone shifted, angry. Taking? I've been here 24/7. Cooking, cleaning, driving you. That's worth something. The casino? One night. I won a little back. You lost more, I said. The truck? The cash withdrawals? Silence. Then, you're checking my spending. That's not fair. I'm your son. Your caregiver. You're my son. I agreed. But you're not my bank. He laughed, harsh. Okay, dramatic. I'll pay it back. When my next job pays. Just spot me this once. No. He exhaled hard. You're being selfish. After everything I've done. You've done nothing but take. I interrupted. I'm done paying for it. He hung up, furious. I finished dinner in peace. The pork chops were tender, the wine warm, the fireflies danced. The next week brought more. Margaret sold the last small items, a vintage sewing machine collection, $2,900. Earl's old pocket watch, $1,800. Account hit, $72,000. I called Ellen Whitaker, elder law attorney in Lafayette. She took my call immediately. Mrs. Bennett, tell me everything. I did. The caregiver agreement, debit access, casino charges, truck purchase, missing receipts. She listened without interruption. This is elder financial abuse, she said. Unauthorized use, self-dealing, breach of fiduciary duty. We can file for accounting, revocation of any informal authority, restitution, possible criminal charges. You have proof? Bank statements, his texts, photos of the truck title. Good. I'll file today. You'll need to come in for signatures. And Ruth, you're strong. Most don't fight back. I'm tired of not fighting. We set an appointment. I drove to Lafayette the next day. First time alone in months. Ellen's office was small, warm. Photos of her grandkids on the desk. She reviewed everything, drafted the petition. Demand accounting of funds, revoke caregiver authority, seek restitution plus damages. You'll win, she said. The evidence is clear. He'll have to repay, likely with interest and fees. I signed, felt the weight shift, not gone, but lighter. Brandon texted that night, long message. Mom, lawyer called. This is insane. You're suing me? Your own son? Over money? I've been here 24/7. I deserve something. Drop it. Let's talk. I replied once. The courts will talk. Talk to my lawyer. Blocked his number for the night. The sales continued. Victor sold the last small items. A vintage camera collection. $2,900. My mother's antique sewing box. $1,800. Account hit. $76,000. I treated myself to a spa day. First ever. Massage, facial, manicure. Sat in a quiet room with cucumber water, soft music. Felt my shoulders drop. Back home I cooked again. Steak with garlic butter, roasted vegetables, fresh bread. Ate on the porch. Watched the sunset paint the sky orange over the fields. Brandon unblocked. Called from a new number. I answered. Mom, please. I'm sorry, I was stressed. The gambling, the truck. I thought I could win it back. I didn't think about you. About Dad's promise. I listened. I'll pay back, he continued. Promise, just drop the suit. No. He cried. Real sobs. You're destroying our family. You did that, I said softly. When you took without asking. When you spent my security on your habits. Silence. Then, I hate this. I know, I said. But I'm done paying for your mistakes. I hung up. The house was quiet. No silver, no coins, no cards. But it was mine. And I was awake. The hearing date arrived on a cold December morning, 4 weeks after Ellen Whitaker filed the petition. The Jasper County Courthouse in Rensselaer was the same red brick building where Earl and I had gotten our marriage license in 1971. I walked up the steps slowly, walker steady, wearing the navy wool coat I'd saved for special occasions. The one Brandon once said made me look like a grandma from a Christmas card. Ellen met me at the door, calm, professional, briefcase in hand, her gray scarf wrapped tight against the wind. You ready? She asked. I nodded. I've waited long enough. The courtroom was small, wood-paneled, high ceilings, the faint smell of old paper and coffee. Judge Harlan Thompson. No relation, just coincidence. Was a man in his late 50s. Reputation for being fair but stern with family disputes. Brandon sat on the other side with his lawyer, a young man in a cheap suit who kept adjusting his tie. Brandon looked thinner, eyes shadowed, flannel shirt rumpled like he hadn't slept. No grandkids, no girlfriend. Judge Thompson called the case. In Ra, revocation of caregiver authority and financial accounting. Bennett versus Bennett. Ellen presented first, clear, methodical. Bank statements showing unauthorized transfers. $1,200 casino, $800 sports bar, $3,500 truck title, $2,000 cash withdrawals. Brandon's texts admitting stress relief and errands. Photos of the truck he bought. Affidavits from the bank manager confirming Brandon's access and spending. My medical records. No incapacity. Victor's receipts for the sales, framed as evidence of asset protection, not theft. Your Honor, Ellen said, this is clear elder financial abuse, unauthorized use of funds, self-dealing as caregiver, breach of fiduciary duty. We request revocation of any informal caregiver authority, full accounting and restitution of misused funds, plus punitive damages for emotional distress. Brandon's lawyer stood, nervous. Your Honor, my client acted in good faith as live-in caregiver. The funds were used for household needs and stress relief. Mrs. Bennett was recovering from surgery, perhaps not fully able to manage decisions. The caregiver role saved her thousands in professional care costs. Judge Thompson leaned forward. Evidence of incapacity? The lawyer faltered. The surgery recovery. Recovery isn't incapacity, he said. Call your client. Brandon took the stand, sworn in, voice low at first. Mr. Bennett, Ellen began. Did you use your mother's debit card for casino charges totaling over $1,200? Yes, but it was one night. Stress relief. I won some back. Did your mother authorize those charges? She gave me the card for groceries and meds. Did she authorize gambling? Silence. No. Did you purchase a used pickup truck with $3,500 from her account? Yes, for errands, to help her. Did she approve the purchase? No, but did you make cash withdrawals labeled household expenses, totaling $2,000? Yes, for bills. Ellen held up the bank statements. These show casinos, bars, truck title, no groceries or meds receipts. Did you provide an accounting to your mother? Brandon shifted. I forgot. Why not? I was busy. Caregiving. Ellen paused. Or because you knew she'd object? Brandon didn't answer. Judge Thompson spoke directly. Mr. Bennett, your mother trusted you as caregiver. You used her funds for personal expenses without permission, while claiming compensation. Do you have anything to say? Brandon's voice cracked. I'm sorry. I was stressed. Gambling, bills. I thought I could win it back. I didn't think about her, about Dad's promise. The judge's face remained neutral. Promises aren't the court's role. Accountability is. He ruled quickly. Caregiver authority revoked permanently. Full accounting ordered. Restitution. $42,000 misused funds, plus 8% interest from date of first unauthorized charge. $3,800 plus. Punitive damages. $35,000 for fraud and emotional distress. Attorney fees covered by Brandon. Criminal referral to prosecutor for financial exploitation of an elder. Brandon stared, face pale. His lawyer whispered urgently. Brandon stood. Mom, please, don't do this. I can't pay that. I'll lose the truck, the apartment, the kids. I met his eyes, steady. You took everything from me. Now you pay. He broke, tears, shoulders shaking. I hate you for this. The words landed, but they didn't break me. I know, I said quietly, but I love myself enough to stop letting you. Judge Thompson adjourned. Ellen squeezed my hand. You won, Ruth. Outside the courthouse, Brandon approached, alone. Mom, can we talk? Just us? I nodded. We sat on a bench under a bare oak tree. I'm sorry, he said, raw, broken. I was selfish, greedy. I thought the money was family money. I didn't think about you, about Dad's promise. I listened. I'll pay, he continued. It'll take years, selling the truck, cutting back. But I'll pay. And I want to fix this, if you'll let me. I looked at him, the boy who used to help Earl in the workshop, now a man facing consequences. I accept the sorry, I said. But payment first, actions. No more excuses. You visit when I invite, you respect boundaries, and you tell your kids the truth, why Grandpa's coins are gone. He nodded, tears falling. I will. He left. No hug, just a quiet, thank you for not pressing charges. I watched him walk away, shoulders slumped. Ellen drove me home. The house welcomed me. Lighter, quieter, mine. That night I cooked a feast. Pork chops with apple cider glaze, roasted vegetables, fresh bread, the last bottle of Cabernet. Ate on the porch, stars bright over the fields. I raised my glass to the dark. To Earl, I whispered. To promises kept. The night answered soft. Crickets, wind in the corn. Freedom tasted like pork chops. And peace. The court order arrived by certified mail 2 weeks after the hearing. Thick envelope, official seal, Judge Thompson's signature firm on every page. Full restitution. $42,000 misused funds, plus $3,800 interest, $35,000 punitive damages, attorney fees covered. Brandon had 90 days to pay, or face liens, wage garnishment, asset seizure. Ellen called the same day. It's done, Ruth. He can appeal, but he won't win. The evidence was overwhelming. I sat at the kitchen table, same table where Brandon used to eat cereal as a boy, and read every line twice. The house felt different after that. Not lighter anymore. Settled. The empty shelves and bare corners weren't wounds. They were space. Space for new things. Space for me. Brandon paid in installments. First $15,000 wired within 30 days. He sold the truck he'd bought with my money. Then $10,000 a month after that. No excuses, no begging. Just automatic transfers and a short text each time. Payment sent. B. I acknowledged once. Received. No more. He didn't call for 3 months. When he did, it was quiet. Voice low. No bravado. Mom, I'm selling the apartment, moving to a smaller place. The payments are taking everything. I'm working 2 jobs now. Warehouse by day, delivery at night. I get it. What I did, it was wrong. I'm not asking forgiveness, just, can I see you? Not for money, just to talk. I let him wait a week. Then, come Sunday, 2 p.m., alone. He arrived early, alone, in an old pickup, the new one gone, carrying a small potted sunflower, the kind Earl used to grow in the garden. He looked older, lines around his eyes, hair grayer at the temples. I opened the door. No hug, just, come in. We sat on the porch swing, Earl's swing, still creaking the same way. The sunflower sat between us on the small table. I planted these for you, he said. Thought maybe the backyard could use them. I touched a leaf. Maybe. Silence stretched, comfortable, not tense. Then he spoke, voice rough. I'm sorry, Mom. Not just the money. For everything. For thinking your life was background to mine. For the gambling. For the truck. For making you feel like an ATM instead of my mother. I listened. I'm in therapy, he continued. Court mandated at first, but I kept going. I'm learning why I did it. Addiction. Fear. Thinking happiness was quick wins. Casino, truck, easy cash. Not people. Not promises. He looked at the empty yard. Dad would be ashamed. He'd be disappointed, I said softly. But he'd want you to grow. Brandon nodded, tears in his eyes. The grandkids. They ask about you. I told them the truth, age appropriate. That I made a big mistake with Grandma's money. That Grandma needed space. They want to visit, if you'll let them. I exhaled. They can come, with you, when I invite. No surprises. He smiled, small, grateful. Thank you. He left after an hour. No long goodbye. Just a quiet, I'll call next week. And he did. Every Sunday after that. Short calls, updates on work, therapy, the kids. No asks, no demands. Just presence. The grandkids visited for Thanksgiving. Brandon drove them down. They were teenagers now. Awkward, phones in pockets. But they hugged me tight. We cooked together. Turkey, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole from Earl's recipe. They asked about Grandpa. I told stories. The workshop, the swing he built, the sunflowers he planted. They listened. No distractions. After dinner, they planted the sunflower in the backyard. Together, laughing when dirt got on their hands. Brandon watched from the porch. Quiet. Eyes shiny. Brandon's ex-wife sent a card through him. Thank you for letting them see you. They talk about Grandma's stories all the time. I replied, they're welcome anytime. Winter came soft. Snow on the porch, lights on the swing. I decorated simply. Small tree in the living room, candles in the windows. Brandon and the kids came Christmas Eve. Brought gifts, books, a bird feeder, a framed photo of Earl and me on the swing. We opened them together. No big presents, just time. Spring returned. The sunflower bloomed, yellow against the green, a small miracle in the yard. I sat on the swing most evenings, tea in hand, watching the sunset paint the cornfields gold. Brandon called one evening in May. Mom, I paid the last installment today. It's done. All of it. Principal, interest, damages. I'm debt-free because of what I owe you. But more than that, I'm trying to be debt-free in other ways. No more shortcuts. No more excuses. I smiled into the phone. I'm proud of you. Silence. Warm. Then, can we come for dinner Sunday? The kids want to plant more sunflowers. Bring the tools, I said, and tell them Grandma's making apple pie. He laughed. Real. Light. We'll be there. I hung up, walked to the backyard. The sunflower stood tall, blooms opening to the sun. I whispered to the breeze. Earl. Look at us. Promises kept, new ones starting. The wind answered soft through the corn, gentle like his hand on mine. Freedom isn't revenge. It's a swing that still creaks, a garden that blooms, a family that learns, and a woman who finally chooses herself, every day. The money was repaid, the heart was healing, and the porch light stayed on.